right in the kisser.
Hey, how the devil are you? Why I order. What was that? I don't know. Anyway, so today we've got the Fosi Audio ZH3. It's a DAC, headphone amp and preamp. Now, I think with DACs, they need to offer more than just being a DAC when they get a bit more expensive. I've tested a lot of DACs and compared them side by side. And personally, I never feel, or I don't think, that there's a huge difference in sonic capability. An example would be Audio Masterclass, a channel on YouTube. He recently did a test between a very expensive DAC and a cheap DAC. The cheap DAC was the Duke Audio K5, and the expensive DAC was the iFi Valkyrie, I think. The Valkyrie is £1,700 and the K5 is 90 quid, okay. Nice little DAC, that Duke Audio. And I couldn't tell, he did a sound test between them, a blind ABX test, and I couldn't tell the difference between them personally. A lot of people did tell the difference. And if there was a difference, does that mean one's better than the other? And also, if it is better, is it £1,600 better? No, probably not. And this is why I think DACs need to offer a little bit more, which the ZH3 does. So the more expense you get, the more I think the DAC should offer. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, let's bring you in for a closer look. Ho! And here it is. Ta-da! Okay, so you've got your volume here. This also doubles, you can get into your menu, okay, and double click to get out. Press and hold to turn it off. Got your little screen there, which I'll go through in a second. Got your unbalanced 6.35mm input and your balanced 4.4mm input. Comes with a remote control. Okay, handy remote control this. So on there you can see you can dim, there's the dimming thing there, so I can change the brightness. I'm not going to turn it up because if I turn it up too bright, it doesn't show up very well on the camera. Oh, let's get it back. There we are. I can press home then to go back. There we go. Okay. You've got auto on there. So auto, boink, like that. So that'll auto power off. If I change it to yes, it'll auto power off after 30 minutes. Press home again. You've got your filters. So I can either do it via that or here. So I can change the filters. To be fair, I never want to hear much difference between these filters. I'll leave it on, I mean, what should I put it? Power, dynamic, natural. But I'll put the filters, what they mean, up on the screen here now. But I can never hear much difference between them, to be fair. I'm going to leave it on natural smooth. Then you can get your output from here then. So your output. Now, here's with the output. So you've got PO, it's on at the moment. That's your headphone. I think it means phones out. Okay. Then you can have auxiliary. That'll give you your XLR out and RCA out. Okay. Then you've got low. So if I hit that, right. Now when you got it on LO, I think that means line out, I think. But that defeats the volume control completely. It puts you straight up, just go home again, look, and it's gone to 99 volume. So be aware that when you hit that, it will pull it to completely full volume and it defeats the volume control. And I think that's when it's just a pure DAC. So you can use it just as a pure DAC only. Right, let's just change that to the output to, oh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons here. Home, hang on a minute, output. Let's put it on headphone. So when you're using headphone, you can use bass and treble. So bass is plus or minus 12 dB, treble is plus or minus 10 dB, okay? You can't bypass here as well. So they'll bypass the bass and treble when you're using your headphones. Then you've got, hang on, let's go to the gain. No, where are we? There we are. So at the moment I've got it on high gain. You can have it on medium and low. Or just there you've got, I've still got it on medium and let's get it on high again. Right. Then you've got your UAC, so I'll say your USB type. If you want to use it for gaming, PlayStation, whatever, and you need a USB 1, the older type, you can change that to 1. If you're just going to use music, leave it on 2. Going back to the output, if I can get back there now. So I've got it on PO where I can use the gain, the bass and the treble. If I change that output to auxiliary, you see the bass and the treble disappears. So unfortunately, the bass and treble only works when you're using the headphone amp, which is a bit of a disappointment. I would like to have seen the bass and treble enabled when you're using it as a preamp. So that's a bit of a kick in the teeth. But here we are. You can't use the bass and treble when you're using it as a preamp. Weird. Anyway. Then you've got your inputs then. So you've got USB, optical, coaxial, RCA, and back to USB again. Okay, press home. Now in the box, it'll come with a 6.35mm adapter, a 12-volt trigger cable, a USB AC to USB-C cable, user manual, 12-volt adapter, and the infrared remote, which I've already showed you. Now, the power output, because this claims to have 2,570 milliwatts per channel into 32 ohms. However, that's only through the 4.4mm balanced output. If you're using the 6.35 single-ended with the highest gain setting, you're going to get 640 milliwatts times 2 into 32 ohms, which is still plenty of power. It'll power pretty much most headphones, okay? If you want to take advantage of the 4.4 balanced, don't be tempted to do this mistake. So let me show you, okay? So let me have a look here. So on here now, I have a 3.5mm TRS connected to a 6.35mm TRS, okay? Tip, ring, sleeve, TRS, like you know. And that's fine to use in the unbalanced, plop, sweet, okay. Now I think to myself, I want to take advantage of some of that power. Oof, I want to be blasting my ears out. I want to damage my eardrums, man. What I'll do, I'll get a 4.4 RS. Flipping X, too many R's in there. Tip, ring, 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 sleeve. This is a 4.4 balanced adapter. You can't put a balanced adapter onto an unbalanced plug and plug it in there, okay? I wouldn't recommend you do that. You can't do it the other way around. You can plug a balanced into an unbalanced and use it that way, but you can't plug an unbalanced into a balanced, because what will happen is it works differently, okay? It'll potentially damage the amp, all right? It won't work very well. I wouldn't recommend it at all. You damage the amp. What you have to do is, some headphones you can disconnect the cable. If you've got a fixed cable, then you're a bit screwed, to be fair. But if you're like me, you've got a lot of headphones coming out, you can actually change the cable. So if they're too close, make sure. So see here, I can just take these cables out, okay, and take that out there. And what I can do then is get a balanced cable. So I get a balanced 4.4mm cable to 3.5mm. Depends on what size these are 3.5mm to 3.5mm. So it depends what size. So I can get a balanced cable and I can use that 4.4 balanced output. However, it's not going to turn my head. These are not balanced headphones. It's not going to make them balanced, but at least you can take advantage of some of that power and you won't blow up your headphone amp. Okay, let's power that off and have a little look around the back. All right, on the back, got your XLR outputs here, fully balanced. It's all fully balanced circuitry, this. You've got your unbalanced RCA outputs there, RCA in unbalanced. Then you've got optical, coaxial, USB in, your power, and you've got a trigger in and out. It's good to see all these triggers now. It's much easier when you've got a stack of these things. You just hit one off and they all go off. You turn one on and they all come on. Much better. Now it's got a very decent chipset. It's using the XMOS XU316 for the USB processing. Decent chip that. Nice DAC. It's got an AK4493 SEQ. It's rocking 4 OPA 1612 op amps. So very nice chipset. Now, a few weeks ago, I reviewed the SMSL D1, and I didn't do a sound comparison because I didn't have another DAC here to compare it to. But now I do, and I'm a man of my word. Oh, yes I am. Okay, so I have done a sound test comparing this to the SMSL D1. So have a listen to the sound test and let me know what you think in the comment section. So there you go. What do you think? I couldn't tell the difference. They both sounded great. So there we are. The ZH3 is going to be selling for around about £180 in the UK. And I think you're getting a lot for your money here. It's a very decent DAC. It's a very decent headphone amp. Love the sound of the headphone amp. Very dynamic, really clear sound, very detailed. Can't grumble about the headphone amp at all. And also as a preamp, it serves its purpose. Little bit disappointed that you can't use the basic treble controls when using it as a preamp. Bit disappointed with that. But apart from that, I think it's a really fantastic prospect for 180 quid. Links will be in the description box below. I think there's a discount code as well. You get 15% off. So it's 180 quid. What's that? Minus 15%. 50% of 180. 10% of 180. 27 pound off. Oh, my brain hurts. So you get £27 off with the discount codes. Obviously, it may differ wherever country you're in with your currency, whatever. But, you know, in the UK, you're getting 27 quid off. Bargain. Okay, so fill your boots with that. So all in all, I think this is a very good preamp DAC headphone amp. Fantastic prospect, love it. And it'll go well. If you've got some of the Z series stuff from Fosi, this will go really well with all that. Marvellous. Anyway, that's come to the end of the video. I will catch you in the next one.